Welcoming guys to our preview every single NFL team for the 2023 season. We're still in the AFC East with the New York Jets, and the New York Jets in this offseason did a huge gamble, and they gave a couple of picks away to the Packers for Aaron Rodgers. That's right, Aaron Rodgers is following in Brett Favre's footsteps and going to the New York Jets after 15, 16 years in Green Bay. He's gonna go to the Jets. Robert Saleh. Robert Saleh, there's a big pressure on him now. Like, he's got a quarterback now. He actually has a quarterback. Zach Wilson was never the guy. He's just overrated as fuck. I know you had other people like Mike White last year that was replacing Zach Wilson. In my opinion, Zach Wilson doesn't have the leadership skills that you look at the leadership skills that Burrow has, that Mahomes has. You look at those guys, even like Herbert, he's not on that level of those quarterbacks. And you look at, you look at Mahomes and Burrow, who've been in Super Bowls, and also Mahomes have won 2. That is your aim to be, and he's been in the league 3 years now, 3 years now, and again, it just hasn't worked out. They've had other quarterbacks in that position trying to fix it. Like I said, Mike White was in there for a bit last season, but they went big. The New York Jets went big this offseason going for Aaron Rodgers, nearly 40-year-old Aaron Rodgers. And again, this AFC East, you look at the AFC East and you're like, the Jets could have a chance at the playoffs, but you look at the Bills and the Dolphins, who have both done really well in the offseason and especially in the free agency. But you look at the Jets that have done well as well. They have done good stuff. Robert Saleh has got a lot of pressure on him as a head coach. This is his 3rd season as a head coach for the Jets. Dalvin Cook's come in from the Ravens. You have Cobb, who has joined Aaron Rodgers from Green Bay. Garrett Wilson, who again you got him 2022, so again he's still, this is going to be 2nd year as a wide receiver. You also have Alan Lazard. He's joined Aaron Rodgers in the Jets, so you've got a lot of really attacking options with Dalvin Cook, Cobb, and you've got the draft prospect of Garrett Wilson from the 2022 draft. And then you look at the defensive side of the ball. You have Sauce Gardner. So you have him, and so again he had a pretty good rookie year as a cornerback. Sauce Gardner, he was a really good part of that defense. Again, for a lot of it last season was what got the Jets. Why the Jets were good last season, because of that defense. But again, the offensive side of the ball, they were mid. You had, again, 2 quarterbacks who were not good enough, who are not the guys that you are going, yeah, these are the guys to lead us to the playoffs. But is Aaron Rodgers truly that guy? I mean, you look at his last couple of years in Green Bay. The last time they got to a playoff was 2021. Choked at that. 2022, he was an MVP that year. Choked in that as well. Again, if you're going to go all in, and this is what I said about the Packers, if you're going to go all in with Aaron Rodgers, then this is the time you're going to go all in. And the Jets have done some good business. I like what they've done in the draft as well. In the draft, they got Will McDonald III. He's an edge from Iowa, which I like him. Probably the edge rushing class. I was a fan of Isaiah Foskey, and Will McDonald III. I thought he was, I think he was a good prospect as well. And also on the offensive side of the ball, the offensive line, the trenches, you've got Joe Tippmann, who again, he looks a pretty good prospect as well. He's a corner from Wisconsin. Then you've got Carter Warren, he's an offensive tackle. Him and Joe Tippmann, I think they're going to do some good stuff in the offensive side of the ball, protecting Aaron Rodgers. He was from Pittsburgh. Then you got Israel Abanikanda. I don't know how to say his last name, apologies. He's a good running back as well. Him and Dalvin Cook, I think he's probably going to be like a secondary running back, but again, he's going to be learning off Dalvin Cook, but again, he's a good prospect from Pittsburgh. Then you got Zaire Barnes, linebacker, so again, more on that defensive side of the ball that you've worked on, from Western Michigan. Then you got Jarrick Bernard-Converse. He was a late 7th round pick. He's a defensive back from LSU. And then you got Zack Kuntz. He was a tight end again. More attacking options for Aaron Rodgers as well. More weapons for him. He was a late round. I think he's probably going to be like a reserve player. Maybe he'll get a cameo at the end of the season. But you look at this Jets team, you look at the AFC East, and you know that the Bills, they're gonna be up there winning the division. And then second and third place is up for grabs between the Jets. The second place is up for grabs between the Jets and the Dolphins. I'm not going to say the Patriots because the Patriots have gone backwards, and I'm going to go on to them next. But you look at especially the 3 teams in this division that can win that division, between the Jets, the Dolphins, and the Bills. You know, again, if Rob Saleh gets his team working together and gets both not just the defensive side of the ball working, but the offensive side of the ball working as well. Like, this is going to be a pretty good team that could take a couple good wins over some big teams next year if they get their shit together. And if Aaron Rodgers works out, but if he doesn't work out, that's a bad loss for you guys, because again, you could have gone in this draft and got somebody like you could have Will Levis, you could have got Anthony Richardson. Again, these guys that could maybe be the guy, but you're going for the old quarterback, and I still think that this team still needs a bit of work. I like what you did in the offseason by getting some of the people around Aaron Rodgers, like Lazard, like Cobb, and then you still have Garrett Wilson. Sauce Gardner's going to be good on that defensive side of the ball. I like Joe Tippmann. He was a good draft pick. He's 24 years old. Great pick. Him and Will McDonald, again, they're going to be great on the Will McDonald's going to be great on the defensive side of the ball. You've got Joe Tippmann's going to be good on that offensive line with Carter Warren, who's that offensive tackle. And then you got another addition at running back to help Dalvin Cook if he gets injured. Again, that's a really good addition there. Overall, I do think that my prediction is I think they're going to finish 3rd in the division. I think that whole Aaron Rodgers experiment is not going to be it's going to be one less payday for Aaron Rodgers. They're going to finish 3rd in the division, and Aaron Rodgers goes into the sunset and finishes his career. That's my prediction. I think they're going to finish 3rd. I don't think they're going to get a playoff spot. Again, this team, the Jets, haven't got to a playoff position since 2010, 13 years ago. So it's a big ask. Kind of nearly 40-year-old Aaron Rodgers, get them to a playoff position. That's a big ask, but leave your guys' thoughts in the comments.